send home all the OFWs who have been lingering, waiting, and hoping to be released from quarantine areas so that they can join their families. And here is the statement. This is a short version of the statement issued by presidential spokesperson Harry Roque. Sinabi po ng ating presidente ngayong umaga, mga 1:30, na pwede nilang gamitin ang lahat ng resource ng gobyerno at gamitin nila ang lahat ng pamamaraan ng transportasyon, mapa-bus, mapa-eroplano, mapabarko para mapauwi na itong mga OFWs natin. Sang-ayon ng presidente na kinakailangang lahat ng ating mga manggagawa ay sumailalim sa COVID-19 test. Pero ang sabi niya, hindi katanggap-tanggap na napakatagal ng prosesong bago sila makauwi. So inaasahan po natin na magkakaroon naman po ng implementasyon ng ating mga ahensya ng gobyerno at itong linggo ito ay inaasahan nga ng presidente na wala na doon sa 24,000 na mga OFWs na naghihintay ng COVID-19 results na mananatili dito sa Metro Manila. So in short, the president has instructed the IATF team to use every available means of transport to send home all of the 24,000 OFWs that have been stranded in quarantine facilities, hotels, motels, waiting for test results. So we will be monitoring that development. Then we will go now to the headlines of the Philippine Star. Here are the stories from the front page of the Philippine Star. The Philippine National Police is bracing for more challenges, especially for the time when the Metro Manila transitions to the less stringent general community quarantine. PNP Deputy Chief for Operations, Police Lieutenant General Guillermo Eleazar, said yesterday that they had to change their security coverage when commercial establishments opened in Metro Manila under the modified enhanced community quarantine. More changes will still have to be implemented when GCQ is over in NCR, and Eleazar admits this will present its own challenges. Other areas in the country under modified ECQ are Cebu City and the province of Laguna. Still with the PNP, the very dark and very bad news as the police force reports that an average of 8 people a day have fallen victim to crimes of rape and sexual assault during quarantine. PNP data showed over 600 such cases from March 16 to May 23, or the whole duration of the community quarantine in most parts of the country. Still, the figure is lower by 53% compared to the January 9 to March 16, 2020 data, where the average is tallied at 18 victims daily. The PNP did not go into details on the areas of the cases and on the profiles of the victims. The number of repatriated overseas Filipino workers, or OFWs, has breached the 29,000 mark over the weekend. This after a Philippine Airlines flight, PR683, arrived Saturday with 352 Filipinos from Saudi Arabia, according to the report of the Foreign Affairs Department. Several issues have surrounded the homecoming of OFWs, from delayed COVID-19 tests to prolonged quarantine, but the government has said it is now working to send OFWs home as early as possible while also providing them assistance. Thus, the announcement from Malacanang at 1:30, where the president has ordered all OFWs released from quarantine after being tested and to be sent home. Today is a public holiday for the celebration of Idil Fitr, or the end of the holy month of Ramadan for our Muslim brothers and sisters. And on this day, President Duterte calls on Muslims to help break barriers that divide the nation. In his message, the president expressed hope that the Muslims' time in prayer has nourished their strength and fortitude, while also encouraging them to be agents of change in the country. Okay, that's most of the news today on the front page of the Philippine Star, and we will continue to monitor the happenings. In the meantime, let's start with our program of interviews for this morning, beginning with Dr. Edsel Salvana, who is a member of the COVID-19 Technical Advisory Group at the DOH, or Department of Health. He is also director of the Institute of Molecular Biology and Biotechnology at the National Institutes of Health at the University of the Philippines, Manila. Dr. Salvana, good morning, sir.
Good morning, Sir Sito. Good morning to
Okay.
everyone who's watching.
Yeah, Doc Edsel, what's your reaction? What would you have in mind now that the president gave specific instruction? Lahat ng masasakyan, lagyan nyo ng OFW, pauwiin nyo na lahat yan. Sobra na yan. Sobrang tagal, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, you've been in the middle of this thing from day one. I don't know if I'm going to be beating a dead horse, but why the delay? Gaano ba kahirap mag-testing? You know, a lot of people were under the impression, prick the finger, draw the blood, do the test, culture the blood, and it'll be out in 3 to 5 days. But that doesn't seem to be the situation.
The RT-PCR is what we want to do because it's very difficult to use rapid tests to detect yung mga pre-symptomatic and asymptomatic carriers because
Okay.
they don't make antibody agad. So the test for this, as the NTF has declared, is really an RT-PCR we're more or less confident that they're not carrying the virus silently. Now,
Especially because the OFWs are coming from known areas, or in areas na medyo may outbreak din. So merong special concern.
Yeah, that's correct. So
Okay.
I think that yung RT-PCR, the process itself, if you're doing it in the laboratory, takes about 3 to 6 hours depending on what you're doing. But yun nga, ang problem kasi is ang daming nagpapatest ngayon, so there have been backlogs, although the DOH is increasing the capacity to test. I think that if we can fix the inefficiencies in terms of testing, kaya naman actually na speed up siya. It's just that it's a logistics issue. My job is really to just advise the DOH. I don't determine policy. Basically, what we do is try to help them find solutions in terms of getting things more efficient. So I think now with the marching orders of the president, I think everyone will work doubly hard so that the results of these tests come pretty fast.
Well, the marching orders of the president is get the blood sample and send them home. So essentially, we're not going to wait for the test anymore because, according to Senator Dick Gordon, one of the major headaches was not really the test in itself, but the bureaucratic documentation. May mga maling pangalan, maling address, maling gender, etc., etc. And so the tests itself were being done. It was the recording and the data logging of the test. So what would be the impact of, and I respect the president's move on this. I mean, okay, medyo risky, but you know, it goes both ways. If you contain 24,000 OFWs in a particular space, one way or the other, if there are contaminated individuals there will be a spread. But on the other hand, people might say, pinakawalan mo, pag uwi niyan sa mga probinsya, there will also be a spread. What's your thoughts on this, Dr. Salvana?
Yeah, I think that we may be able to work out a way to do it more efficiently as well as continue containing containing people. As you said, if it's a bureaucratic issue, we really have to cut red tape. It's really not appropriate na we're spending so much time trying to trying to verify things that should already have been fixed in the first place. I think those processes absolutely need to be fixed, and I can sense the frustration both of the president and people in general. I mean, if you were the OFW, it's really, really frustrating. If the testing is not such a big thing that's contributing to the lag, then I think that we can do this efficiently. Also, in terms of making sure that people do not transmit as much as possible. There are ways around this, and I think that the president has a good team in the National Task Force working with DOH and also the IATF. I think we can do this.
Okay, now given the situation, I'm sure hindi pa naman nakakaalis itong mga OFW. They're still in place, they're still in the quarantine areas, but knowing how the president does things and how quickly his people respond, I would assume that within 4 to 5 hours, they will start opening those doors and those gates and sending people home. Now, yung pupuntahan, their destination, what should the local officials have in mind? What should they prepare for? Because 24, in fact, sabi nga sa balita, 26,000 na yan, leaving Metro Manila, that's going to be a traceable number of people. If I were the mayor, governor, what should I be concerned, or what preparations can I do on the fly?
I think we need to clarify muna exactly because I don't know exactly what, I haven't seen the full text of the thing. But if it's really more of, making sure that we speed things up, like I said, I think it's doable if we figure that out. But in general, the way to do this would be to make sure that the provinces are ready in terms of being able to ensure that people are least likely to transmit, and a way to be able to follow up those results if they aren't back yet.
Yeah, because I think what's going to happen is, please let me know your idea on this. Two things lang naman yan. Either they end up in a province or a town or a city, and they are going to be received there and sent to a mass quarantine area of that town and city, or they will be sent home and be told to stay in quarantine, the same way they do in China and other countries na, sige, pauwiin ka namin, but you stay home and you don't leave. Now, how do we avoid a breakout or a reinfection? Because a lot of people are also concerned yan. Pinakawalan mo yan, tapos magkakalat yan, and then we will all suffer because the government will say, oh, we have a breakout, then we have to do ECQ again.
Right. So I think those processes really need to be strengthened. We have them in place in terms of people really coming home. This RT-PCR is really more of something that was instituted to doubly make sure that people are tested before they're sent home. However, even the RT-PCR can still miss some cases, so that's why you really have to have that prevention framework in place. And so it's not just all here in Manila. It needs to continue all the way to the provinces.
Okay, Doc Silvana, can you clarify something for me? I don't know if I missed the memo or I didn't get the memo, sabi nga nila, no? But when we started out, they said, 7 days lang, patay na yung virus na yan. And then they said, 14 days. We found out it takes 14 days, patay na yung virus na yan. I mean, we are on, if I'm not mistaken, our 67th day. The longest lockdown in the world, continuing lockdown, sabi nga ng ibang writers, no? Now, one would imagine, dapat patay na itong virus na ito. If you are in quarantine for more than 14 days, is it safe to say you're COVID-free?
Yeah, assuming you don't have symptoms, because if you have symptoms, then you're shedding virus. If you don't have symptoms and you've done 14 days, for the most part, in the US nga 10 days lang sila. But the latest data, both from Singapore and from Korea, shows that even in people who are positive, and then after 11 days of recovery, even though the RT-PCR PCR remains positive, there's no longer infectious virus being shed. And this is just new.
Mm.
This is just in the last week. So we think that if you're not having symptoms in the last 14 days from the time of exposure, most likely you won't be shedding infectious virus anymore in that sense.
Yeah, that I read that same study, and it reminded me of the case of Senator Sani Angara, who got the scare of his life when they said he still has the virus. Apparently, you can, after you've gotten well, you can still have the virus, but you are not contagious. So, in any case, what's been going on in that part of the world? Because when all of this started, everyone was dependent on the World Health Organization, and the World Health Organization, I mean, understandably, had very little data to go by. So whatever numbers they could, they basically made their directives, such as the directive on old people like me. If you are 60 and above, you have comorbidities, you are highly susceptible, you are in danger, blah blah blah. But then we've discovered that the data was based on the number of deaths that had occurred in the housing facilities for the elderly, yung mga home for the aged. And now they're now discovering that there is a greater number in the age group that are much younger, mga 50 yata, if I'm not mistaken. How has the profiling of this disease changed, Dr. Salvana?
Yeah, well, now that we're actually seeing more mild disease and there's some good antibody tests out there already, particularly yung ELISA, and we're able
Mm.
to detect very mild infections, it seems the overall mortality rate is anywhere from 0.3 to 1% overall. This includes people who have very mild disease. But it's still consistent, even in areas na wala masyadong nursing homes. And here in the Philippines, that most of the people who are dying are really people who are above 60 years old and people who have pre-existing illness. So that still holds true. I think that in terms of the true mortality rate, if we keep detecting all these mild cases, it's going to go down, but it's still going to be about 10 times deadlier than the flu. And because this is so contagious, we really have to be careful. Kasi even if sabihin mo 1% mortality, that's still a lot. Kasi wala tayong immunity eh. If you infect 70% of the population with a 1% mortality, that's still a lot of people. That's still 700,000 people who can potentially die. So we really have to try to control this.
What about the causes of death? Kasi ang dami ng mga conspiracy theory, mga kesyo-kesyo, and people are like, how come we never see dead bodies? How come, they never show, the mortality? And like, if you go back to New York, there were so many images of morgues carrying cadavers in the back of pickups. In Brazil right now, you think that they're planting, and I don't mean to be disrespectful or insensitive, but when you see the rows of graves, parang nagtatanim ng kabaong. It's like planting coffins. Uh, in any case, why is it that we are not highlighting, the causes of death and the profiles of those people who died? Kasi ang pinagsasabi, hindi, yung mga nurse, yung mga frontliners, kanya maraming namatay in the beginning was because they didn't really know what kind of enemy they were dealing with. They got exposed. Even the ventilators and respirators actually made things worse because it spread the virus inside the ICU, etc. Well, why is that? Why are we not talking? Are we just being scared of talking about death?
I don't think so. Actually, we got lucky in the sense na yung widespread deaths. Kasi you can't suppress naman yung sobrang daming patay like what happened in New York. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously there are some people who never got back their test results before they died. I think there's about 476 of them. And DOH is also going to start keeping track of probable COVID deaths. Even if hindi na test, or even if the test was negative, as a matter of fact, basta mukha siyang COVID. Hopefully that will give us a better picture. But I mean, it's very difficult to miss if there were widespread deaths and the overflowing ERs. I know our frontliners right now, they're really very, very stressed. They're working very, very hard. They're working 8-hour shifts in full PPE, which is really, really hard. But we still do have ICU beds in the COVID centers that are vacant. So
Hmm.
we haven't had that big surge. I do not want to say that this is not hard on us. This is really, really hard on the healthcare workers, and it's gonna
Oh
be
no.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
gonna be 10 times harder if there's a big surge po.
yeah. Don't get me wrong. What I was referring to was the fact that they were doing 24-hour shifts, and in fact, may mga pinagalitan akong kaibigan ng mga frontliners. I said, you are being dedicated, but you're also dedicating to yourself to dying because of over fatigue and etc. But going back to the topic, I am confident that we are going to go into GCQ in a matter of weeks, or at least that's all the indications we've been getting. Now, if we go into GCQ, and I've always said the second wave, let's forget second wave, third wave, because there will always be a ripple, if not a wave. The issue is how we are able to respond to it medically, by which I mean, kayong mga doktor are able to contain the number of patients, treat the patients, because we're also discovering, pasensya ka na, no? Para na ako nag-pre-med because of this COVID-19 eh. We're now discovering that part of the problem in treating COVID-19 is that people go to the hospital too late. They're now saying if you go really early and you actually have COVID, we can save you and treat you and you will have a shorter stay. Now, what is our present status in the event that we go to GCQ?
All right. So with the GCQ kasi, so there's gonna be more people out and about, but we can mitigate the transmission by making sure that you only go out if necessary, wear a mask, social distance. These are things that will bring down the transmission rate. Now, in terms of going to the hospital, there's always a balance there. Kasi we know there's COVID in the hospital. If you go to the hospital and you don't need to be in the hospital, you have very mild symptoms, baka mahawa ka lang ng COVID. So we
But
really have to
Doc,
balance that out.
pasensya ka na, Doc. I
Yeah.
cut you in there, no? But is that still the case? Because I've spoken to several doctors. In fact, I had an emergency situation a week ago. And the head of the hospital told me, Sito, nothing to worry. We've already disinfected and sterilized our our ICUs and emergency rooms, and that seems, according to him, the trend now in many hospitals, and that we should really tell people wag matakot pumunta sa hospital. So what's your response to that?
Yeah, so there's a lot of level 1 isolation facilities right now, and PhilHealth will also pay for those. So for mild symptoms, para at least, lalo na yung mga taong may risk factors, comorbids or above 60 years old, they can actually be checked into these community level isolation centers that have healthcare workers. And if they deteriorate, they will be transferred to the hospitals. Kasi still,
Mhm.
we don't want, if there's a big surge, na punong-puno yung hospital ng mild people. We want to
Correct.
reserve it for the severe. But because we are aware that people can deteriorate, especially those above 60 years old and with comorbids, the government has invested a lot of money in thousands of community level 1 facilities where people who have risk factors but only have mild symptoms can be tested, isolated, and even taken care of and referred to hospitals if they deteriorate.
Okay. Well, I do hope that we are ready for that, Doc, and kayo sa UP, you especially in the area of testing and developing solutions are doing quite well. We hope that you will continue with the effort and that you have breakthroughs left and right, because we need to get on with it. Thank you very much, Doc Silvana, and
Thank you, sir.
please stay strong, stay healthy, and stay safe. And God bless you, Doc.
Thank you very much. Stay safe.
Okay, that's Doc Edsel Salvana. And I guess the good news is that at the end of the day, there is sufficient amount of medical facilities, whether it is level 1 or tertiary level, we will somehow manage that. And please, if you are feeling any symptoms, one or maybe two out of the 5 or 6 symptoms they said is indicative of COVID, magpatingin kayo kagad. Go see a doctor right away, or at least call your doctor, because apparently what's coming out in the international scene is the earlier you are treated, the likelier that you will survive. And we pray that all of you will listen to that. Don't wait until the last minute, because you may run out of seconds in the last minute. Okay, let's go to our next guest. Excuse me, I don't have COVID-19. I have a frog in my throat. Let's talk about the trade and the industry sector. We have with us Secretary Mon Lopez, one of the hardest working secretaries in the cabinet. Good morning, Mr. Secretary. Ginising na naman kita.
Good morning, Mr. Sito, at lahat po ng nanonood. Thank you.
Okay, Secretary, we are now talking about the possibility of GCQ in a matter of weeks, and you have really been supportive of a normalization. Now, the question is, what's the plan? Kayo po you are the Secretary of Trade and Industry, and in particular, what is the game plan for trade and industry, sir?
Okay, thank you, Sito. So the game plan really is to bring back jobs as early as possible, reopen the economy, and although one part of us, even in the economic managers group, we are always looking at the trade-off. So that's the reason why in working within the group of the interagency task force, we look at all these indicators from the health side and of course from the economy side. And it's very obvious that yung economy natin was really affected. Hindi lang siya dumapa, nag-negative contraction pa siya, no? Nag-negative growth pa siya. So that shows that our economy ground to a halt. Talagang huminto at so it's about time that unti-unti natin mabalik siya. Moving back, the President also instructed us na siya rin gusto kasi niya maibalik na ang economy at ang mga trabaho ng ating kababayan. So, ang move po natin ay talagang mabukas ang economy pero dahan-dahan po. So, that's the reason why entering into the modified ECQ, we even allowed all the other manufacturing industries, and that means about 9. Kung ito-total natin yung bukas ng ECQ, which was about 50%, and in the modified, we opened the rest of the economy, and in the modified, yung 50% partial operation on. So our estimate is about 75% dun sa modified ay open. But all the other areas, as you know, are GCQ. So doon ay mga 95% na ang open sa kanila. So dito, as we move now to the GCQ, even for Metro Manila and some parts of Region 3 na nag-modified, at pag nag-GCQ na yan, and we're quite confident, maganda naman ang indicators, so that means everybody na, I mean, entire Philippines, almost 95% na ang open sa economy. Going back to the economy, we all know na walang pera lahat kadamihan, lalo na ang micro SMEs because ng sara. So, kailangan immediate support talaga dyan yung financing. Working capital to pay for their deferred utilities, rentals sa tao, sa sweldo. At again, working capital for the raw materials to restart. To restart the economy also, it's important that the people keep their jobs so that the income is there and there will be source of demand. Pag walang pera ang tao, walang demand at babagal ang pag-umpisa ulit. So it's important in many of the interventions, even right from the start ng ECQ, yung wage subsidy nandyan, yung tulong sa walang trabaho, no work, no pay nandyan, so that yung consumption ko ay tuloy-tuloy pa din ang pag-andar, ano? And going back, pag may trabaho na, may pangsweldo uli at ikikip yung mga tao as much as possible, walang i-lay off. So that may kita ang tao, may income, at the demand will go back. when the demand goes back, again, matutulungan nito yung mga producers will be encouraged again to produce more. And again, hopefully, yun na yung restart ng economy. So there are many interventions in terms of working capital, may guarantee, may loans for MSMEs, may loans for the regular bank loans that will be given out. And we're working on mga concessional rates. Right now, we have this Pondo sa Pagbabago, Pag-asenso, we have that microfinancing program. It's not that big, obviously, 1 billion pesos. I think we need more than that, mga 50 to 80 billion pesos. So, but that will require a new law, a law that will provide more fund support to many government financial institutions. Kasama na doon yung Small Business Corporation under DTI. Of course, the Land Bank and DBP will be major source of funding, and also
Yeah.
the Philippine Guarantee Corporation. So there are many of these interventions that can come in.
Okay, I hope you don't mind. I'm not trying to be a pain in the butt, so to speak. I just need to ask all the questions that a lot of people are asking.
Sure.
Everything you've said, you've been saying that for quite some time, and it has been reassuring to many people. Ang tanong ng karamihan, ano yung timeline? Ano po yung calendar ninyo to get these things rolling? Because for example, one of our viewers called in and said, "Sir, yung aming rental sinisingil kami. Hindi nga namin alam kung totoo yung sinasabi ng gobyerno na ang rentals are supposed to be suspended or may moratorium. Hindi kami klaro regarding that." Now, others naman are saying na bakit yung mga walang trabaho, dati nang walang trabaho, tinutulungan ninyo, pero kaming mga dating nagtatrabaho at may trabaho, walang tulong. So parang, could you answer those questions, Secretary?
Oo, sure. Dito sa rental, actually, it's in effect right now. So, yung mga may pailan-ilan na, of course, hindi natin maiwasan perfect compliance yan. May mga landlord na maniningil pa rin. So, yung mga ganon, we are telling people to please complain to our DTI hotline so that it can reach us yung complaint, and then we can try to mediate. Normally, pag dinadala naman sa DTI, ay nagkakaroon na ng settlement at the landlord will agree to it. So sa aming report naman po, maraming sumusunod dito. Very clear po yung law natin. In fact, the punishment, the penalty is pwedeng kulong yan to I think 2 months to 10 months.
What exactly does the law or the Bayanihan Heal as One law say as far as rentals and tenancy is concerned?
Okay, the Bayanihan law provides for a deferment. They called it a grace period, deferment of the rentals due during the quarantine. Now, so we issued a corresponding DTI memorandum circular that details out the guidelines. So it describes the moratorium on the payment, and all the rents due during the period will have to be totaled because it's not just 1 month. So it turned out 2 months and a little more. So ilalump yun, and then in our formula, we simply said, okay, sa bayaran ng buo yan, malaki yan. So i-divide mo by 6, so that's 6 monthly payment after. Okay, once na-trigger na yung next payment ulit after the quarantine. And the trigger point at that pag wala na yung quarantine is 30 days after the last due date during the quarantine. So assuming we leave the modified ECQ by May 30, let's say the last due date na dapat babayaran ng tao ay May 15. So 30 days after, June 15 would be the next due date na kanyang babayaran, and then you add the 1/6 of that amount. So that is in effect. Ang kailangan ng that they approach us, they tell us about this. Kung may problema sila, we'll talk to the landlord. Marami po yung na-expect din natin na hindi magkakaintindihan. But that's the one in the law, so they just have to follow it. But they can
Apparently the misunderstanding is in the word moratorium kasi yung iba ang akala wala munang singilan. Yung pala may singilan pero ipapa-defer muna.
defer.
Deferred payment, hindi libre. Okay.
Hindi waiver, kung hindi deferred payment. It's like moratorium is correct also. Parang
Oo.
magala mo ng bayaran and then we'll pay later, deferment.
Oo, kasi mas kabisado ng mga nag-i-installment at nagbabayad ng credit card yung deferred payment. Yung moratorium daw pang abogado lang. In any case, okay. So, what about once you mentioned that people need to have money to start buying goods. Marami po sa mga workers natin, sad to say, isang kahig, isang tuka, yung iba mawalan ng trabaho ng 2 araw, hindi makakapasok ng 2 araw, walang pamasahe. What are we doing regarding this?
So tungkol the other question naman na wala daw natanggap yung iba. Actually, all those, dalawa yung part na yan nung first part dole nagpapatupad through yung mga no work, no pay. So parang ito yung mga workers or micro entrepreneur, may-ari ng tindahan na pag walang benta, walang kita. So, at saka yung mga no work, no pay, sila po yung unang nabigyan ng mga under the social amelioration package. Then, the DOF through the SSS and the BIR, we check the records ng lahat ng mga workers sa formal sector, ibig sabihin registered yung company, nagbabayad ng tax, naguhulog sa SSS. Sila naman yung may list noon, I think 3.4 million. Ang binigyan po nila bibigyan nila yan, actually nabigyan na yung 1 month, may bibigay uli ngayong May, towards the end of May. So 2 months silang nag-commit ng, ito yung tinatawag na wage subsidy, 5,000 to 8,000 pesos. So, ano po yan? We've heard a lot of confirmation na nabibigay po ito sa formal workers in the formal sector. Kaya yung mga naman may reklamo naman po dyan, maybe they can ask SSS, the ones implementing this. Baka naman kasi ang problema hindi active file yung kanilang SSS. Baka kaya wala sila sa listahan. So, tingnan po nila doon.
Okay, now regarding timelines and openings of industries, medyo let's go to the big picture. In your mind or as far as your data and information goes, what is the critical industry that needs to be open?
Right now, pretty much we've opened the critical, the really important ones. Open na sila nung ECQ pa lang, the food, the basic essentials. Now, moving into, again, beyond the ECQ, ang na-open na would be the balance. And yun yung kinikwento kanina. It's like one half lang naman. The balance is the 50%. However, in the modified ECQ, ang sabi, doon sa mga dinagdag, it's just partial operation. Kaya sinasabi ko, the balance 50%, about half of that ang bumalik. Yung iba parang naka-work from home pa. They may still be functioning, may work pa din sila, but ang inalaw munang lumabas para hindi maano yung transmission, ma-compromise, ay yung partially open, 50%. But the economy, technically speaking, I mean for the whole country, dahil maraming GCQ rin, we can say that we're on the about 85 to close to 90% open na yan. People are starting to work. In the mall, we did an inspection yesterday of some businesses, kami ni Sec Galvez, and we found out even in the malls, dapat ang open na sa mga stores doon, mga 40%. Mga 30% or less pa lang ang nag-open. So, ibig sabihin, even inallow na yung industry to open, hindi rin lahat bumabalik agad. I think they're still fixing or making arrangements sa transportation because naging issue rin yung pag-provide ng shuttle. Kung hindi maka-provide ng shuttle, anong gagawin ng workers, anong gagawin ng employer?
You know, connected to that, Secretary Mon, medyo mukhang isa ka na sa maraming dumadaming biktima ng bashing sa internet
Oo, mukhang na-misquote tayo diyan kaya
Yeah,
i-explain ko rin yan.
apparently, ito, so babasahin ko na, no? Can you clarify your statement that employees who refuse to work may lose their jobs despite the lack of public transportation or fear of getting COVID-19? Parang sinabi mo raw, pag hindi kayo pumasok, pwede kayong mawalan ng trabaho.
Hindi. So, ganito yan. Una, ganitong context niyan. Una, pagka ganito pong situation, we know na nag-uusap talaga ang employer-employee. Pwede siyang magbigay, ang employer dapat talagang mag-issue ng magawa ng arrangement for shuttle services. Kasi ang employer gusto rin niya makapasok yung mga mga tao, mga workers. Ngayon kung hindi siya makagalaw, hindi siya makakuha ng shuttle services, ang tanong kasi sa akin, can the worker refuse? O sabi ko naman, pwede naman mag-refuse. Kaya lang minsan, di ba, kung ikaw sabihin, wala tayong sasakyan, anong gagawin mo? Normally, yung mga worker gagawa rin ng paraan. In the same way na yung employer gagawa ng paraan. So, meron na din ako sinabi dyan na yung employer, pag hindi gumawa ng paraan, parang doesn't speak well of the employer. Tapos, yung worker din naman, kung magre-refuse siya, it doesn't speak well also. Kaya yun yung context noon, na baka hindi magkaintindihan. Pero, it's more hypothetical case lang yon. What really happens is that ang ating workers at saka mga employers, pag-uusapan yan. Kasi yung hypothetical case may not happen. Sasabihin, ang pag-uusapan dyan ay, sandali, gagawa muna ako ng paraan pa makakuha ng shuttle or makatira ka sa malapit or huwag kang pumasok, work from home ka. Or, ang pwede ring mangyari, sabi nga ng DOLE, is that hindi naman siya paalisin sa trabaho, kaya lang, gagamitin niya muna yung leave niya. Pwede rin gano'n ang mangyayari. Hindi siya makakapasok kasi wala pang shuttle. So, gamitin niya yung leave niya, mag-a-absent siya. So, yun din yung isang options. Again, hypothetical case lang naman yon, but in reality, sa lahat ng mga nakakausap namin, nagbibigay ng shuttle or gumagawa silang paraan na huwag ka muna magtrabaho, sa bahay mo gawin para may sweldo ka, or no work, no pay muna. Or rotation kayo. O ikaw muna yung no work, no pay, yung susunod, yung ibang batch naman ng ganon, ikaw papasok ka. So, merong mga ganitong arrangement. So hindi naman natin sinasabing mataterminate sila agad. No? So, siguro, correct ko na rin kung may misunderstanding doon.
Okay. In any case, meron pong katanungan dito. What is your reaction to Senator Drilon's statement that the Philippines is lagging behind other Southeast Asian nations in luring investors leaving China amid the pandemic? Has the government addressed this?
This is hindi lang to problema ngayon, problema pa 10 years ago yan. And kaya in the time of President Duterte, one of the key issues dyan, mga sinasabi po dyan, ay yung readiness ng infrastructure, kaya tayo nag-build. Ngayon tayo lumalakas na at dumadami na yung infrastructure support for businesses. So isa po yan sa malaking factor dyan. Isa pa yung incentives, nagkaroon ng siguro misunderstanding na akala tinatagal yung incentives, maraming naging uncertainties also, sabihin na natin. Kaya in the incentive discussion, mayroong tax reform na pinag-uusapan. And I must say that this tax reform, especially as revised now, is a very good one. Kaya nga gusto po namin maipasa na kaagad ito to remove all these uncertainties. Example, yung pagbigay ng net operating loss carryover, immediate baba ng income tax rate from 30% to 25%. Dati po kasi 1 percentage point per year. No? Tapos, yung mga nandito na nag-enjoy ng incentives, ang worry ng iba doon, ang ikli ng transition period, 2 years tatanggalin na or 4 years tatanggalin na. Ngayon po dito ay 4 years na yung pinakamabilis at it can go up to 9 years kung ikaw ay high export-oriented, high labor content. So these are very good improvement in the features na kaya gusto po sana namin maipasa sa Kongreso, sa Senado, so that it will remove this uncertainty factor. And therefore, the answer to that question is, yes, we have to address many of these things. We have to liberalize further other sectors that will allow more foreign equity para mas pumunta dito yung mga foreign investors. Excuse me. Hanggang hindi ko na-arrange itong mga to, medyo hindi tayo yung best destination. But many reports are saying we are number 6, we are number 7. Dun lang sa recent CEO magazine last week, we're number 7. So the other factors kasi we're ahead, like in the talent of the people, trainable, etc. They can work well in the setting, in the company setting. So in other words, maganda yung ating factors na iba, pero hindi perfect. Marami pa tayong kailangan din gawin on these other aspects like infra.
Okay.
And,
Yeah. Since that remains to be seen, or that's still more of a aspiration than direct possibility. What about on the local? Kasi meron na tayong balik probinsya ni Senator Bongo. But what about invest sa probinsya? The decongestion of Metro Manila and incentivizing businesses to get out of Metro Manila.
Yes, you're correct, Mr. Cito. In the way we are contributing to the Balik Provincia, as we are saying, is that through these mga incentives we're talking about, it means we are giving more incentives if you locate outside Metro Manila. For example, yung income tax holiday, kung sa Metro Manila ka, 4 years, dito sa bagong batas na panukala, may plus 2 years ka if you locate outside. So may mga ganung incentives that can attract more investments to locate outside Metro Manila. We're also saying that some local government can do their own respective mga incentives na, icing on the cake. They can waive some real property taxes, facilitate the payment, or provide some support on the rentals. So, yun yung mga pwede pa nilang gawin on top of what we are giving at the national level. So in terms of Balik Provincia, ang importante yung investment nandun para yung trabaho nandun. The other way we're helping is through the SME training, yung livelihood. Para pag pumunta sila sa probinsya, yung nationwide naman yung ating DTI, negosyo centers, they can do all this training for if you want to to start a business, micro business.
Okay, I guess we will keep reminding you of that and supporting you for that. And last question na lang, sana may good news ka, Secretary Mon, kasi nami-miss ko na yung chicharon bulaklak ko sa favorite restaurant ko. People are asking, magkakaroon na ba tayo ng dine-in sa mga restaurants? Because apparently you were asked about this, and what is your response to this push from the Restaurants Association?
Correct. We've received a lot of even position papers regarding the dine-in, because again the restaurants food preparation has been allowed from day one of ECQ. So good business for them also because of the takeout delivery lumakas ang takeout delivery. So buti pa sila, may negosyo pa sila. Lalo na yung mga nagbukas. Ngayon yung
Are you going to allow it?
So pagdating naman sa dine-in, yun yung question mark ngayon kung sa GCQ pa ba i-allow. Kasi what is clear, in the modified ECQ, yung mga low-risk areas, ma-allow na yung dine-in. Pero ang next step sa NCR kasi after modified is GCQ. So that's the one we're studying right now. There could be a way. Like yesterday, we saw some demo of this, and so may mga protocol na ini-implement ngayon. We have written it down para ito yung pasusunod natin sa mga restaurants. What we can do is we can slowly allow this. Of course, we'll discuss this sa IATF. Make it as a policy. So what can happen is that allowing them maybe 30%, 50%, hindi full capacity to allow also social distancing. May konting infra or re-engineering, relayouting of the restaurants that's needed, putting some fiberglass in between, yung mga ganon. So it might require time. So baka abutin din ng mga maybe 2 weeks to 4 weeks yung preparation. So baka yun na rin yung tamang magiging timing nito as we allow dine-in. Kasi in many
By
cases, in many countries kasi ito talagang yung restaurant at saka yung salons and barbers nagiging source talaga ng paghawahan. So important din kahit may mga divider ka, yung aircon sa loob, hindi rin umiikot inside lang. Kailangan daw meron ding exhaust at napapalitan yung air inside. So these are the things that we're asking the mall owners to provide, which we got an assurance they will do it doon sa mga binisitang barbers and salons, and to those that will do the dine-in. Kung
Okay.
outdoor yan, mas lamang ka.
So
Outdoor
sabay-sabay na
dine-in.
yan, malls, parlors, salons, and restaurant dine-in will take about 2 to 4 weeks before you have a definitive policy on it.
Yeah, the policy can come earlier. So what will happen is pag na finalize itong policy maybe in 1 week, some of those who are ready can be given the go signal. So baka yung mga ready na, hindi na nila iintayin yung 3 weeks to 4 weeks. So yun
Okay.
yung maganda dito sa de-develop natin. Basta nakasunod po kayo sa protocol, pwede na po kayo magbukas. So yun po yung ipopropose nating polisiya so that it can start to open. Kasi kung hindi, lahat sabay-sabay. 4 weeks from now, baka yung iba mauna na kung ready na.
Okay. Thank you very much, Secretary Mon Lopez. And
Thank you.
please stay strong, stay safe, stay healthy. Sinabi ko naman sa'yo, magpahinga ka rin dahil sobra kang masipag. God bless you, sir.
Salamat po. Mabuhay po kayo.
Okay, that's Secretary Mon Lopez and of the Department of Trade and Industry. So the good news is 2 to 4 weeks, and we might see a glimmer of hope. You might be able to reconnect with your manicurist, with your barber, your hairstylist, and maybe, just maybe, you will be able to go out to dinner with your wife. Now, no big crowds, and it will really be in restricted spacing, but better that than nothing. We'll go for a quick break, 30-second break, and we'll be right back here on Agenda. Okay, you're back here on Agenda, and you are watching us via Signal TV, channels 8 and 250, as well as the Facebook page of One News PH, and on TV5, as well as YouTube. Please do us the kindness of sharing this with your friends so that we can give more and more people good news. And uulitin ko lang po sa inyong mga inip na at miss na ang inyong mga nanay, tatay na OFW na naka-quarantine dito sa Metro Manila. Meron pong binigay na kautusan si Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte kaninang 1:30 ng madaling araw at sinabi niyang pauwiin na lahat yan pagkatapos matesting. Huwag nyo nang patagalin, gamitin nyo bangka, dapor, lahat kahit na papano makauwi na sila. So that's the good news. We are expecting thousands of OFWs to be able to reunite with their families, and we hope that the barangays and the cities and towns and provinces will be ready. Hindi na po kailangan ilabas yung mga banda at yung mga welcoming committee, pero kailangan sigurong paghandaan. And in connection with this homecoming of thousands of OFWs, let's speak with the person who handles barangay affairs at the Department of Interior and Local Government, none other than our friend Undersecretary Martin Dino. Sir, magandang umaga. Good morning to you, Yusek Dino. Okay, we seem to have an audio problem. Let's just correct that. Baka nakamute lang yung microphone mo, Yusek.
Okay,
Ayun,
okay.
yun. Okay. Yusek, good morning.
Yep, Sito.
Okay, matanong ko lang, Yusek, siguro nadinig mo na yung balita from Malacanang that the President has ordered the IATF to send home all of the OFWs in the quarantine after they've been tested. Wala na yatang hintayan ng result. Ano bang balita mo and anong gagawin yung paghahanda? Kasi, these are several thousand OFWs.
Siyempre, pag kami utos ng Presidente, susundin natin yan. Pero sabi ko nga sa iyo, di ba, nagka-problema tayo, even hindi lang barangay, pati yung mga mayor. Basta nalaman nilang OFW, parang ang tingin nila dito ay may dala-dala agad na virus. Pero pagka ganyan ang ating na nag-undergo na yan ng 14 days quarantine at meron na yung go signal galing dun sa hindi nila pwedeng harangin yan dahil ito yung ngayon yung nagiging problema, para may paranoia na once na OFW ang tingin nila carrier. Ngayon sigurado tong sa utos ni Presidente mababago na yan, no? At sabi ko nga, at the end of the day, yung ding OFW, ang may katawan. Kung mahal niya ang pamilya niya, pag may naramdaman talaga siya na siya na mismo yung magsabi na, o mag-decide sa kanya na, sabihin niya sa authority na hindi pa ako pwedeng umuwi. Pero pagka naman na cleared na siya, tapos hinaharang pa natin sa mga quarantine facilities, palagay ko masyado ng parusa. Ang ginagawa natin sa mga OFW. Kamukha nga ngayon, hindi ba? Natutuwa nga ako kay General Galvez. Dahil tanda mo ito, kung noon pa, ginawa na natin yung tinawag na barangay quarantine na kung saan kada barangay meron kaming kanya-kanyang scheme na gagawin. Sa amin yan, di ba? Sa amin yung natinig. As early as January 31st. Yung tinatawag na Barangay Health Emergency Response Team. Tapos ang ginawa ni Secretary Anyo noong February 6, nadinig nyo na yung tinawag na PPE. As early as February 6 Tapos meron kaming barangay isolation unit. Ngayon yun ang gagawin. Pero sabi ko nga, anyway, tapos na yan. Ang gagawin na lang namin sa barangay ngayon, once na implemented yan, talagang simplihan na lang natin ang tawag. Huwag na yung ang dami ang hihirap ng tawag. Ang gawin natin, street lockdown. Pagka sa barangay, halimbawa, itong street na to, may tama, isaranado yung karsada. Tapos, halimbawa, sitio lockdown. Yung buong sitio. Pagkatapos, barangay lockdown. Ibig sabihin, talagang na tayo, surgical, target na natin. Kung saan yung mga may sakit, kaya we can conduct activities. Kung sa barangay, doon sa syudad. Yan naman, kayang-kaya naman namin gawin sa barangay. And then may mga tauhan kami. At saka tandaan mo ang barangay, grabe mga chismosang tao dyan. Umubo ka lang. Alam na lang. Tuturo ka na. Totoo, umubo to. Di ba? Sabihin na sinipon ka o may nilagnat. Talagang, alam mo naman, kahit sabihin mo na sa iskinita yan, nasa karsada yan, bantayan talaga dito. Kaya kung gusto natin magtrabaho, ito na talagang lahat sa barangay manggagaling.
Yusek, anong reaction mo? Kasi yung kaibigan natin, si Professor Ranjit Rai sa UP, may sinabi siya na talagang bullseye. Sabi niya, naisip ba natin na itong mga kawawang mga barangay officials sila na ang tumatayong tigapagtupad ng lahat. They're now doing everything, from SAP disbursement, food packs, community quarantine, pagkatapos yung yung isolation of mga infected. Parang lahat ng pasanin sa kanila na binigay. Anong reaction ninyo diyan? Ano ang sentiment ng mga barangay officials? Kasi parang sinasabi ni Ranjit Rai sa UP, maawa naman tayo sa mga barangay officials kasi iniimbestigahan natin sila pero hindi natin tinitingnan na yung bola, na dambuhalang bola, pinasa na natin sa kanila.
Correct, totoo yan. At the end of the day, lahat ng mga iniisip ng mga nandun sa sa interagency task force, ang babagsak yan, barangay. Masakit nga dito, kinonsulta ba nila? Hindi ba? Ang tanong diyan, sinabi ba natin ang mga gagawin ng mga barangay? Basta't nag-isip sila pagkatapos ibinagsak nila sa mga barangay, kamukha nito. Buti na lang kami unti-unti nag-a-adjust Unti-unti, nung unang bagsakan yan, tita mo, may mga nagsabong, kasi walang anong gagawin namin? Aarestuhin ba namin? Kaya ako on my own little way, ako na nag-uutos, pagka lumabas ng bahay, arestuhin nyo. Kasi kailangan klaro tayo. Ano ba yung nilalaman ng ano ba yung nilalaman ng batas na ginawa, yung Republic Act 1146-9, yung Bayanihan Hill as one act. So nakalagay pala doon sa section 6, ikaw ay pwedeng makulong ng 2 buwan, ikaw ay magbabayad 10,000 to 1 million. Tapos kung barangay official ka at nagkamali ka, ikaw ay pwedeng ma-disqualified. Nakalagay doon, perpetual disqualification. Ang tanong, alam ba ng mga mamamayan itong batas na to? Kaya unti-unti nag-adjust tayo diyan. Pati yung quarantine pass, naningil sila. Agad-agad inaksyonan ni Secretary Anyo na bawal ang paniningil. Ang ibig ko sabihin, kung una pa lang sinabi nila na magkakaroon ng quarantine pass, bawal maningil, bawal lahat na so naka-ready agad ang barangay, pero ganun pa man, umadjust kami. Pero tanong ko sa'yo, sino ang unang nag-violate ng social distancing? Tatandaan mo, yung Las Piñas, yung mayor, pero yun pala, para sa mga empleyado niya, nadinig ng mga tao, sa sobrang gutom, nagpuntahan doon. Sinong nagpatawag sa sa Lucena, na kung saan 10 barangay inipon sa isang mall?
Mall,
di ba? Ito yung mga malalaking sila ang kakampi ni COVID. Itong mga tao, itong mga mayor, itong mga kapitan na pinagkukumpul-kumpulan tao kaya lumala. Pero ngayon, ang ganda na, meron tayo pati palengke, di ba? Yan, nakita natin kung paano nagkumpul-kumpulan tao. Pero nirekomenda ko na noon kay Secretary Anyo na ang palengke i-take over na ng pulis at saka ng military. Para talagang natin. Kaya ngayon, ang ginawa ng mga palengke, halimbawa, isang palengke, 10 barangay. Kada isang barangay, 4 na oras lang. Hindi kayo pwedeng magsabay-sabay dahil magkukumpulan kayo So, nagkaroon ng ganun ng scheme. Nagkaroon ng per barangay at saka per oras na. So, itong
Paano yung gagawin natin na Yusek Dino? Kasi si Ace Barbers, Congressman Ace Barbers, meron siyang suggestion na palagay ko came from barangay captains also, na nagsabi na may mga barangay kasi na talagang sobrang daming tao, sobrang laki ang populasyon. At sabi ni Ace, dapat ang mga barangay hindi lalampas ng limit the population of barangays in the country to 15,000. Yung 15,000 nga, nalalakihan na ako doon kung barangay lang ang pinag-uusapan kasi ang kinalakihan ko, village, na ilang libo lang, 2,000-3,000. Barangay, 15,000. Anong reaction mo dyan?
Hindi, correct. Tama yun, na dapat ganun lang kadami ang mga tao. Pero tandaan mo, kamukha ng Quezon City, there are only 142 na barangay. Pero habang lumalaki ang barangay mo, dumadami ang tao mo. Kaya nga dito sa social amelioration, kung lang ipinagkatiwala sa barangay ang distribution, kung halimbawa, kasi ang nangyari yan, ang Congress, I think 2 days, 3 days, natapos nila yung natapos nila yung batas.
Yung bill,
Next, within I think 4 days na ang DBM nag-download ng pera sa DSWD. Ang DSWD as early as April 3 na i-download unti-unti ang pera sa cities and municipalities all over the Philippines. Mula noon, sinisina ng taong bayan ang DSWD at ang barangay. Bakit hindi nyo pinamigay agad ganyan? Ang hindi alam ng taong bayan, ang pera ay natulog sa City Treasurer's Office ng kanya-kanyang cities at municipalities. Sila ang sila may hawak ng pera at ang listahan ay nasa kamay ng hindi DSWD, Local Social Welfare Office ng kanya-kanyang syudad at munisipyo. Kawawa naman ng DSWD, kawawa ang barangay, kami ang sinisi. Pero yung pala, ang pera natulog doon sa opisina ng mga mayor. Ngayon, kung kita mo, how many days inabot? Mayo na, nagpapamigay ka pa ng pera. Hanggang 15, 17, 18. And it takes a month. Pero kung yan, pinagkatiwala mo sa barangay, tandaan mo, there are 42,045 barangay. Ang tauhan namin sa barangay, 6,095,000. Sino ang nakakakilala ng mga tao sa ating barangay? It is only, hindi alam ng DSWD yan. Hindi alam ng mayor yan. Hindi alam ng social welfare nila. It is only the barangay. Si Kapitan, si Secretary Treasurer at lahat ng mga POC leader. Kaya sayang, sabi ko nga, kung pinagkatiwala ang distribution, doon sa mga iba, isolated lang yan. Ilan lang yan. Halimbawa sa akin, ang nagreklamo, 1,000 plus. There are 42,000 barangay. Merong 42,000 na matitino. At saka ito, iimbestigahan natin. At saka for the first time, dito lang nangyari na kung saan pag ang kapitan, kagawad, secretary treasurer, kinuha mo yung pera o ikaw ay nanghingi. Ngayon lang nangyari na isusumbong ka at lalaban ng patayan yung taga-barangay. Kasi magnakaw ka man sa barangay, kumuha ka sa karsada, sa ganito, walang pakialam yung Pero pag pinakailaman mo ang pera nila, hinati-hati yan. Tapos halimbawa, pumirma sila 8,000, ibibigay mo 4,000 o mabawasan man ng 5, yan papalag ang barangay. Kaya nga, kamukha nito, may second trans tayo. Saan kinuha ang listahan yan? Sa barangay. Kasi ito yung mga naiwan dun sa 2015. Yan ang pinagbasihan nila . Ngayon, ang tanong, dapat nga paimbestigahan natin ang gusto, yung kung bakit natulog yung pera dun sa...
yun na nga yung itatanong ko sa'yo kasi alam mo, yun yung ako talaga aminin ko sa'yo, no? Kahit na Christian na ako, suspityoso pa rin ako. Nagsuspecha ako na mukhang baka may nag-money market yan 30 days lang kung 100 milyon naman ang pinag-uusapan natin, malupit na interest yun. Kayo ba meron ng panukala? Have you made any moves to have those people investigated?
I hope na ganito ang gawin nila sa national. Tignan nila mabuti yan dahil alam mo ba sa probinsya, may mga report kami na talagang ang nagpamigay, talaga namang ang nagpamigay mayor's office, yung treasurer's office sa buong Pilipinas, nasa kanilang payroll. Di ba may utos kami sa barangay na sinabi ni Secretary Anyo, kayong mga kapitan, ipaskil nyo yung mga nakatanggap sa inyo. No? Wala kaming ipapaskil hanggat hindi kami binibigyan ng kopya ng treasurer's office. Sila ang may hawak ng record, hindi barangay. Kasi nasa kanilang payroll. Sila yung mga tauhan nila ang nagpapirma. Kaya nga, ayun, dyan magkakaalam-alam ngayon. Kaya I hope na yung aming mga office sa buong Pilipinas, talagang pinipressure namin yung mga city treasurer, municipal treasurer's office to provide the barangay the copies ng mga nakatanggap.
Para i-confirm ng barangay captain kung tunay na residente nila yung pinagbigyan kuno.
Correct. At saka marami na kaming report ng mga barangay na yung mga nakalista doon, hindi taga-barangay nila. Paano nangyari yun?
Okay, ngayon, hindi ko alam kung if this is a catfish move. Kumbaga, style ng hito na pinagugulo lang yung kwentuhan. Pero may mga nagsasabi na siguro panahon na itaas natin ang antas at kakayahan ng mga barangay leaders at mga opisyal sa barangay. Basically, the suggestion is to elevate their scholastic achievements, their experience training. Pero may nagsabi naman sa akin, Kuya Sito, palagay mo ba kung hindi kami kwalipikado, hindi namin magagawa ito? Sa dami ng pa-training ng DILG. Anong masasabi mo doon, Yusek Dino?
Correct, no? Maganda yan. Pero ang tanong, bakit hindi mo umpisan sa presidente ng Pilipinas?
Walang
ikaw-
ganyanan.
Kung ikaw ay nagbibigay ng requirement sa barangay, bakit hindi mo bigyan ng requirement ang presidente ng Pilipinas, senador, congressman, mayor, bukal,
Mhm.
hanggang ano? Bakit sa barangay? At saka ito ang tanong, magkano sweldo ng barangay sa probinsya? Aber, yung mga 5th class, 6th class, 4th class municipality.
Magkano nga ba?
5,000 pesos pababa. Kasi Sito, ang pondo lang ng sa probinsya, less than 1 million. Ang barangay Tano doon, 300 pesos a month. Pagkatapos, i-require mo sila na graduate ng 4 year, tapos pasusweldoin mo.
Ibig mo sabihin, Yusek,
24/7?
ibig mo sabihin, Yusek, hindi standardized ang sweldo ng
No.
mga barangay?
No, kaya nga ipinaglaban ko ngayon nung nalagay ako diyan na magkaroon ng Magna Carta ng barangay. Kaya ngayon, the barangay official will be considered as regular government employee with fixed salary, insurance, medical and dental, at saka with retirement benefit. Ito
Pero
yung-
standardized na o
Standardized na.
batay pa rin sa era na naman
No,
nila?
standard na. Magiging
Okay.
government employee na sila. Tapos, siyempre, dito sa Metro Manila, may malalaki, bahala ng i-adjust nila. Pero dapat meron ng pegging yan. At saka sabi ko nga, maganda yung suggestion, dapat may pinag-aralan. Bakit? Ang tanong ko ngayon, yung pag may pinag-aralan ka ba, effective ba talaga? Yun lang ang kasi, ang sa akin, pagka binigay mo yung batas K1, ibigay mo sa taas, lalong-lalo sa kataas-taasan. Di ba? Kasi ang qualification natin, able to read and write lang eh.
Okay.
Baguhin na natin lahat. Di ba? So,
Okay. Oh.
ayun ang tingin ko dyan.
Okay, ngayon, so sa current situation, sa mga nangyayari ngayon, mag-GCQ na tayo. Tapos ang sinasabi nila, let us do, as you suggested, as the DILG and your office, USEC, have suggested, gawin natin yung containment,
Correct.
street level, sitio level, barangay level.
Folk level, at saka barangay.
Baka naman mamaya dumating na naman tayo sa punto na either praning yung barangay officials or sinisisi yung barangay officials. Parang ang nakikita ko naiipit sa nag-uumpugang bato eh. Merong mayor at merong national government, ang pisa yung barangay.
Yan it is a matter of proper reporting system. Tandaan mo, ngayon hindi lang nagdi-decide ang national government at saka ang local government. Ang malaking desisyon nasa social media. Kasi nakikialam ang taong bayan ngayon. Talagang active na active sila. Kaya makikita mo si Kapitan hinati-hati, si ganito. Talagang makikita mo lahat ngayon, lahat ng nangyayari sa barangay. Pumunta ka sa Facebook. Makikita mo lahat diyan ang tapos merong kada barangay ngayon may kanya-kanya ng website tapos may chat room sila. Actually dito kami kumukuha ng impormasyon at saka dun sa mga complaints sa amin. At saka yung verification, actually meron akong verification team.
Pasensya ka na, natatawa ako. Para ka kasi stalker sa ginagawa mo na yun.
Correct. Yun talaga maging trabaho namin. Kamukha nito, pag kami nagreklamo, bababa ang mga tao ko. 24/7 yan. Magbe-verify sila, titignan nila kung may katotohanan. Pagkatapos yun, pag may katotohanan, show cause order na ako. Show cause order kita, meron kang 48 hours to answer. Hindi ka maniniwala ito. Sa 140 na binigyan ko show cause, 5 lang ang hindi sumagot. Lahat sumagot, ganyang kakakapal ang mga sagot. So makikita mo na yung anong ginagawa ng barangay, na meron silang scheme, meron silang kanya-kanyang diskarte. Kaya yung iba dyan talagang napupolitika lang. Pero doon naman sa talagang social amelioration, kaya ibinigay namin sa CIDG yan. Talaga namang naka-video, tapos kasi sabi ko nga, pag ginalaw mo ang pera ng tao, ng bawat individual, putya, babanggain ka niyan dahil unang-una, sikmura nila yung pagkain ng pamilya nila ang
Correct.
ginalaw mo. Yan,
Correct.
kaya nga, I hope itong bagong second tranche, sabi nila ibibigay sa ganito. At the end of the day, sino tatanungin ng DSWD? Sino tatanungin nun? Di ba barangay pa rin? Saan nila ipamimigay yan? Barangay ang mag-identify. So kami naman dito sa barangay, handang-handa kami. Ready kami. Ito pa nga Sito, ano nagiging problema natin ngayon sa highway? Traffic. How many hours? It takes 2-3 hours para dumaan ka sa checkpoint. Kung sa barangay pa lang, diyan ang gagaling ang tao, i-checkpoint mo na. Tapos meron kang sticker. Halimbawa, Quezon City, Kulay Dilaw, 142 barangay. Dilaw, tapos barangay 1. Pagka na-check ka na sa barangay, idikit mo yung sticker sa windshield. Pagdaan mo ng checkpoint, hindi ka na, kasi alam nilang dumaan ka na sa barangay. So mabibilis na yung traffic, hindi na iniisa-isa. Kasi mayroon ka ng barangay at pulis sa barangay pa lang. Hindi ba? Di nais mo yung traffic. So ito yung mga bagay na kayang-kaya namin gawin sa barangay level. Tandaan, lahat ng bagay ay nag-uumpisa sa barangay.
Ayan. Ay, sana po ang kabutihan ay magmula lahat sa barangay. Thank you very much, Yusek Martin Dino. Napahaba ang kwentuhan. Okay, thank you very much. Stay safe, stay strong, stay healthy. God bless you. Okay, that's Secretary Yusek. Undersecretary Martin Dino will go for a quick break. And when we come back, those of you who have school-age kids, stick around because we hope to get Congressman Roman Romulo tungkol dito sa back-to-school discussions here on Agenda. Okay, we're back here on Agenda, and it's been a very informative morning, especially with Undersecretary Dino, because no one really seems to think about that, but it is the barangay officials, the barangay captain, the tanods, who are bearing the brunt of of applying ECQ, MECQ, GCQ, etc. And now there are questions about the SAP and they're getting the blame. So in any case, let's move on. Our next guest is the chairman of the House Committee on Education. He is a congressman for the city of Pasig. And we have none other than Congressman Roman Romulo. Congressman, good morning po.
Yes, good morning, Sito. At sa lahat ng nanonood, good morning po sa ating lahat.
Okay, I suppose you have been very busy trying to figure out what would be our steps or our movement as far as return to school goes, if and when Metro Manila goes to GCQ, which I understand is going to happen in a couple of weeks.
Well, that's true, Sito, no? But even kahit na umabot po tayo sa GCQ, again po, hindi ibig sabihin na magkakaroon tayo ng face-to-face classes. The first time we met with DepEd through mga virtual meetings noong April, ang pinaalala po natin sa DepEd, siguro, at yun naman rin ang gusto ng DepEd, ang pangunahin nating concern ay yung health and safety ng ating students, teachers, non-teaching staff, at syempre yung mga magulang. So kahit na sabihin na natin, nag-announce sila na August 24, magbubukas ang klase. academic calendar, hindi ibig sabihin nun, Sito, na magkakaroon ng face-to-face classroom setting. Kasi hanggang walang vaccine po, hanggang hindi tayo sigurado sa safety at health ng ating mga mag-aaral, mahirap pong i-risk yung kanilang kalusugan dito. So pag nag-announce po ng August 24, ang sinabi sa amin ng DepEd, ang ibig lang po nilang sabihin ay mag-uumpisa ang academic calendar, pero susubukan nila maghanap ng ibang paraan na mag-continue yung learning ng mga bata. Maaring virtual, online, TV, radio, material sa kanya-kanyang bahay, hindi tayo face habang hindi low risk o walang vaccine pang nahanap.
Okay. Congressman, may mga nakapagsabi na, and I've done my own assessment, under the current situation, there are a number of people na hindi makakapag-online education for lack of
Yes.
materials and lack of finances, number one.
Yeah.
Number two, there are too many subjects that have been injected into the curriculum of elementary and high school students. So ang sinasabi nung iba, baka naman mas maiging jetahin natin yung curriculum na yan and come up with what is relevant. What is relevant to the student today, and then we can compress that into an online
Yes.
or take-home assignments.
Tama yan, Sito. No? In fact, in fairness naman sa DepEd, I think they've been announcing this already. From 15,000 competencies, binaba na po nila yan to 4,000 na lang. Again, hindi natin alam paano nila mapapasok ito. Unang-unang tama kayo, online. Paano kung walang computer? Paano kung walang wifi? Ang dami masyadong. That's why kailangan ma-explore yung radio, TV. Pero then again, babalik tayo talaga kung ano yung pinaka-basic eh. Baka yung 4,000 competencies, hindi that may be too much pa rin eh. So maybe kunyari sa grades 1 to 3, balik na lang tayo sa very simple na reading, writing, mathematics, para yung basics lang, hindi naman maiwan yung ating mga mag-aaral. Pero again, Sito, you're correct. I think papunta rin tayo dyan. But right now, meron more or less mga 2 to 3 months ang DepEd. Let's allow them to explore everything with DICT, and they're working with DICT para matingnan natin, kakayanin ba ang Wi-Fi, makakapagkabit ba ang DICT, makakapagbigay ba ng computers. Kung hindi man at hindi naman mangyayari yun. Pangalawa, yung TV at radio. Ang problema sa TV at radio, Sito, walang feedback eh. Di ba? Kasi magle-lesson plan ka sa TV. Hindi mo alam kung natututo yung bata, hindi mo alam kung naiintindihan niya kasi walang feedback mechanism yun. That's why talagang very challenging talaga yung panahon natin ngayon. But again, it's also an opportunity for DepEd and the government itself na ayusin po natin yung system natin dahil una-una dami natin talagang estudyante sa iba natin mga paaralan, lalo na sa pampubliko. Siguro, ito na rin yung wake-up call. Ito yung opportunity po eh, na since hindi tayo pwede mag-face-to-face, mag-usap na lahat ng tao sa gobyerno, humingi tayo ng tulong sa pribadong sektor, paano natin magagawa itong online, paano natin magagawa itong TV, radio, na maging effective. And Sito, kahit na mag-work yung online, sabihin na natin na lahat mabigyan ng wifi, lahat mabigyan ng computer. The modules itself, wala pa tayong modules eh. Gagawa pa ng modules. Ano yung eksaktong lesson plan? So talagang, it's true, very challenging yung times na ganito. But then it's an opportunity now for all of us now, especially in government and those in the private sector who wants to help out na maayos natin yung buong system na ito. I think matagal na ho dapat ginawa ito, pero hindi ginagawa dahil andyan naman na face-to-face. Pwede naman magkita-kita, but matagal na ho pinag-uusapan yung wifi, matagal na pinag-uusapan na bigyan ng tablets yung mga mag-aaral natin, but it doesn't really happen eh. Pero now, an opportunity is here to fix the system.
Okay, the opportunity is here to fix the system. This is nobody's fault. If we want to blame anyone, let's blame COVID. Pati education sa Pilipinas, natamaan na nitong buwisit na virus na ito. But clearly, you and I and a million more Filipinos agree that we need to revise the curriculum, we need to
Yes.
upgrade the connectivity, we need to come up with the system, etc. And it cannot be done by August. Ngayon, ako po, no, tawag sa akin noon, nung bata ako, lagpaker. Kasi gusto ko laging nag-gap year. Nag-gap year ako nung nag-martial law, nag-gap year ako sa UP, etc. And I would like to believe that it did not make me any less effective or successful in life. Now, my thought on this is, wouldn't it be smarter, wiser maybe to just declare a gap year for the entire education system and then let everybody concentrate on fixing all of this problem, because naumpisahan naman yung mga connectivity sa barangay, meron na yung mga wifi sa barangay. The DepEd, to its credit, has a lot of modern futuristic programs. You are the father of distance learning, but we are now forced to put it into real use, but we need to buy time. Parang yung mga frontliners sa health,
Yes.
we went under quarantine
Yeah.
to buy them time. Shouldn't we put education on quarantine in order to buy time for people like you and DepEd and the DICT to get a system rolling?
That is correct, Sito. It may come to that point, ano? Kasi August 24 is about 3 months away. But ako naman, naniniwala ako na maganda ngayon na anyway, it's 3 months away. We can declare at that point, kung talagang hindi prepared, a gap year. But then, when we get to that point, hindi naman ibig sabihin kahit mag-declare tayo na, or DepEd declares a gap year, hindi ibig sabihin na dapat tumigil po yung mga educational programs or yung learning. So it's good now na medyo under pressure po ang gobyerno, kasama na po ako doon, yung mga private sector na talagang gusto rin tumulong sa edukasyon, at lalong-lalo na ang DepEd, these 3 months to come up with even just the modules. Pagka ngayon pa lang po, declare na natin na gap year, baka mamaya bukas na, mas importante. Hindi po pwedeng ganun, sayang yung opportunity na ito. But you are correct, Sito. Come end of July, and talagang hindi handa, because hindi naman natin pwedeng sakripisyo rin na yung mga mag-aaral naman natin ay parang wala naman natututunan. Pwedeng ganoon rin. So, maaring by end of July, it comes to that point na the President, Executive, or the DepEd will declare na hindi rin kaya, so gap year tayo. Pero we still have time now. Let's not declare it this early. Hayaan po natin na ma-pressure kami sa Kongreso, ma-pressure po ang Education Department natin to start tripling its workload para makahanap tayo ng modality na effective para sa ating mga students. But again, if it comes to that point, I'm sure walang problema yon.
Okay, because there's also another concern. Apparently, according to my team, the research team of Agenda, only 28% of the public schools in the country have their own clinics. And I
Yes.
think you have expressed concern about this. So, hindi lang on the educational side, but also on the
Yes.
health side. I don't even know the status of toilets and running water. Pag nagkaroon ba tayo ng recurrence of COVID-19 among the students, 1, 2, or 5 cases, will you automatically call for the closure of schools again?
Well, again, Sito, no? Whether August 24 pushes through or not, hindi dapat mangyari ang hawaan. Kasi walang mangyayari na face-to-face. That will not happen simply because hanggang walang vaccine, until hindi low risk, hindi rin papayag po yung Department of Health, yung Department of Education, yung Kongreso, na magkaroon ng face-to-face. But then, bakit po napaka-importante nitong clinic sa ating mga schools? Una-una po, hindi lang po ito yung medical na yung may sakit. Pero ngayon aminin natin hindi, talagang kahit magulang po kahit mga bata, medyo nagkakaroon ng emotional stress So important po dito sa health clinics na ito, hindi lamang yung para sa yung physical na sakit, pero yung again dapat opportunity ito para pag-prepare natin yung mga nangangailangan ng emotional mental na professional doctor. Kasi talagang hindi ka nakakalabas. Estudyante ka, bata ka, hindi ka makalabas. Pagpapalabasin ka, naka-mask ka. Again, all these things can contribute po to something even worse than na magka-gap year tayo eh. So, but this is again an opportunity na paspasan na rin po natin. Kasi paggawa ho ng medical clinic sa mga schools, two factors po importante diyan. First is the physical structure. Kasi may batas na po ngayon sa private schools pero hindi naman nasusunod 'yon. Pangalawa, not only the physical structure pero yung dapat DBM allots po enough salaries para naman meron tayong maengganyo ng mga doktor at nurse at nutritionist magtrabaho po sa ating mga paaralan. So
We need
even items po.
Yeah,
Yes,
we need to pay
items
the
are
right
sensitive.
price
Yes.
for the priorities. Thank you very much,
Yes.
Congressman. Pasensya ka na, naubusan na tayo ng oras, but we will continue to stay in touch. Please let us know if there are other things you want to share with the public in the future. Please stay safe, stay strong, and stay healthy. And God bless you, sir.
Thank you, Sito, and God bless everyone po.
Okay, that's Congressman Roman Romulo, representative of Pasig and chairman of the House Committee on Education. And for those of you who might be having violent reaction, sinasabi ko lang po, no, I had a gap year when martial law was declared because they had to operate on my spine. And then when I was in UP, I took a couple of SEMs intermittently. I took a couple of SEMs off. And even my daughter right now, in her generation, yung gap year is normal. It's not abnormal. They work hard, they study hard, and if they feel they need a break, then we should have the wisdom to give them a break. And as far as education is concerned, let's face it, we're not prepared. If we went into quarantine because of COVID-19 so our health sector could respond, why not give a gap year for education in order for the Department of Education and all the educational institutions to properly set up the system for the future, not just for today. It's not just about following tradition, it is preparing for the future. Thank you for joining us here on Agenda. Sorry for the overtime. God bless all of you. Please include us in your prayers because your prayers help a lot. And make sure you pray for yourselves, pray for your family, and pray bold prayers like asking God to take out COVID-19 in the Republic of the Philippines and the rest of the world. God bless all of you.